His Excellency.
His Excellency Giruna, the European Union Special Representative for Human Rights, during his 4 days visit to Uganda, was engaged in the meetings with the Ministry of Defense, civil society organizations, Ministry of Internal Affairs, Parliamentary Committee on Human Rights, tortured victims, non-government organizations in the fight against violation of human rights, media, among others. In the different meetings held, among the key issues raised were the alleged tortured victims, illegal detention, and arrests of people known to mention all.
The principal and first responsibility for ensuring the human rights of citizens is the government of the country concerned. That's the first responsibility. So this is always a matter that the government of the country has to deal with.
In his engagement with the victims and civil society organizations, demanded the perpetrators of human rights violation to be held to account for their actions, especially those who involved in the November 2021 riots.
The necessity to end that practice. Also the necessity to bring to account those who have been responsible for torture.
His Excellency Giruna's visit ended with a cross-door meeting with President Yoweri Museveni at Nakasero, who expressed his commitment to upholding human rights in the country.
He told me that he is addressing it, that he's handling it, and that the practice of torture will be eradicated.
On several occasions, the European Union has issued sanctions to some heads of security operatives in the country in regard to human rights violation.
So that is an option that is open to us at some stage to use, and it's a matter for the member states to decide if and when that is used. Some of the other mechanisms that we're looking at for strengthening our work on human rights is new legislation that we are in the process of beginning, which will put an obligation on European companies and companies which are operating within Europe to do due diligence with respect to human rights.
Giruna also remarked on European Union's stake for the insurgents and war between Russia and Ukraine.
This is a nightmare that we thought would never happen. After World War II, Europe put in place an architecture to prevent one country from invading its neighbour. With the Council of Europe, with the Organisation for Security and Cooperation in Europe, which incidentally I had the honour of chairing about 10 years ago, and which was set up specifically to ensure peace and security in Europe. We have the Minsk Agreement specifically in relation to Ukraine. There are no shortage of institutions and instruments in Europe to prevent war and to resolve difficulties that one country has with another.
Basing on the information he has gathered on his visit, His Excellency Giruna will present a report to the 27th Member State of European Union and is optimistic that the visit will yield results to Uganda. Among the top agenda on the European Union is to address the issue of human rights, peace, and democracy, among others. Deborah Namamonde, Nantongo Rebecca, UBC News.